Tori Petry here at the Reese Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, where our coverage is brought to you by Southeast Michigan Ford Dealers. And I'm joined by ESPN's Todd McShay. Todd, you are expert in all things draft. We're here watching the Senior Bowl this week, and it's really interesting for the Lions because they've got that number 7 pick, but over the weekend, news came out that they were looking to part ways with Matthew Stafford mutually, of course. So what does that open them up to sitting at number 7?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been the Lions for so long, and now it does look like they're going to have to move on. And this quarterback class is a lot deeper now than I thought it was going to be coming into the season. So Trevor Lawrence is very likely to be the number 1 overall pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 1. After that, it's kind of a crapshoot.
Right.
I think Zach Wilson from BYU is the second best quarterback. There are a lot of other people who think Justin Fields, the Ohio State quarterback, is the number 2 QB in this class. So it'll be interesting to see, do the Jets take a quarterback at 2, or do they stick with Sam Darnold? Do they make a move for Deshaun Watson, with Houston, that whole situation? So I think that number 2 pick with the Jets is going to dictate a lot of things. But between 1 and 7, you've got the Jets at 2 potentially looking at quarterback, and Atlanta at 4 looking at quarterback. So you could be in a situation where Trevor Lawrence is off the board, Justin Fields is off the board, Zach Wilson from BYU is off the board, and so then it becomes Trey Lance and Mac Jones. Trey Lance from North Dakota State and Mac Jones from Alabama is the next best 2 quarterbacks. And I think if they decided to go quarterback there, it would be Lance from North Dakota State.
All right, well, Mac Jones is here this week. Say the Lions don't pick a quarterback there in that first round. A lot of guys here at the Senior Bowl this week. What do you think of the quarterbacks that are out here in Mobile?
Well, I think Mac Jones is probably the best of the group. But after that, you've got Kyle Trask, who's here but not participating. He's not going to play, but he's here talking and interviewing. I think he's the 6th best quarterback after Mac Jones. Then you've got guys like Kyle Mond from Texas A&M, who have a lot of talent but has been inconsistent. Ian Book, who doesn't have the measurables and has had some struggles in terms of inside the pocket, but has a big arm, mobile, tough, competitive. Reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield in the way he plays. So if it's a second-round quarterback, I think Trask and Ian Book and Mond would be some of the names that you might consider if you're the Lions.
All right, well, the Lions are probably going to be looking at guys that quarterback is going to be throwing to this offseason as well. They've only got 2 receivers under contract right now. So who are you watching at the wide receiver position out here in Mobile?
Well, in Mobile, Nico Collins he's a physical freak. He opted out this year at Michigan. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, and he can run. And what I love about him is the ability to adjust to the ball when it's in the air. And he's shown that here. He's shown it on tape. He averaged 19.7 yards per reception in 2019. And he never really had a great quarterback throwing him the football. So I think he's going to be a better pro than he is a college player. A lot like Chase Claypool. What he did going from Notre Dame, coming into the NFL, and having the rookie season that he had. Another guy is Dwayne Eskridge from Western Michigan. I haven't watched a ton of tape on him coming into this week. I've seen a little bit, and I was worried, it's MAC football. He's not going up against great DBs. He's out here working, SEC corners, ACC corners, and he is the quickest player on the field. So that's a name that I don't think a lot of people know, Dwayne Eskridge. I think he's going to be a top 50 pick. Tony from Florida is another guy who's Kadarius Toney, who is playing really well so far. He's going to be a first-round pick, probably later in the first round. But Tony and Eskridge, kind of different speeds and different levels of twitchiness and quickness than all these other receivers.
Well, that's the perk of the Senior Bowl, is these guys from schools like the MAC coming out here and working up against top talent.
Yeah.
But another thing we haven't talked about yet is the defense, and that's a position that we know that the Lions have a lot of work to do in this offseason. Dan Campbell even said it in his introductory press conference as head coach. Are there playmakers out here on defense that the Lions could look at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, I think there certainly are. The Notre Dame defensive end, Dalen Hayes, is already playing really well. At linebacker, Chaz Surratt, whose brother, Sage Surratt, is a wide receiver at Wake Forest. Chaz Surratt is the linebacker from North Carolina, and he plays all over the field and can be that versatile cover guy. Nick Bolton is another player I love from Missouri. Wait till you see him. He plays just with a motor that's unrelenting. He's all over the field. He just knows where the ball is, and he will finish. He will knock you out. So there are some really good players, especially in the front 7 here. And my guess is somewhere on day 2, after the quarterback is dealt with and maybe wide receiver,